Now up to Christian Yelich. Here it is. Yelich sends one to right center and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here and gone for Yelich. He has tied the game with a booming home run.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Doyle bidding you a big wahoo welcome from Municipal Stadium, where tonight, before a capacity crowd of 75,000 screaming featherheads, the Fighting Braves of the Cuyahoga will leave their teepees in search of Cleveland's first league championship in over 30 years.
Motion to the left. He gives it to Flowers on the jet sweep. He cuts inside the numbers. He's in the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Ravens! The Zay is in the board, and the Ravens knock out the Chargers in L.A.
I can say a lot of things right now, but it's one bottom line right now. It's only one top dog. It's only one top dog. They say these are the top two defenses. Let's find out. We know what happened to Willie Parker last time we played him, right? Anybody with a yellow and black in uniform touch the ball tonight. It's personal. When we turn the football film, tomorrow when we turn it on.
Chiefs Kingdom, Arrowhead pride. Let's roll, baby, competition terrified. D4, Travis Kelce, Tyreek, Chris Jones, Justin Houston, Patrick Mahomes, united under one goal. No stopping us, gonna win the Super Bowl.
Welcome everybody to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast. I'm Bryan Galloway here in the frozen tundra of New Jersey. And I'm here with, from parts unknown, Michael Pippersick. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing great, Brian, because it was like a balmy 40 today. It was like summer. I was debating whether to even wear a jacket when I went out to walk the dog. I think
it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse.
Positively balmy in parts unknown today.
Yes, balmy. And from Rumson, New Jersey, Alex Shanley. How are you, Alex?
Little stovetop baseball. Surprise, surprise. A Japanese player signs with the Dodgers.
Surprise, surprise.
For like $1 million a year for 6 years.
Yeah. And then he gets $400 million on the back end? What's he getting on the back end?
No, it's whole international money, and the Dodgers didn't have a whole lot of that. So the way that it plays when you first sign on, kind of like when Ohtani signed on first, like you don't make a ton of money, and then after 6 years.
So in international money, they actually pay in yen.
Yes, right? Exactly. Or crypto.
400 billion yen then.
Yeah. Okay, well that's whatever. I don't know.
I heard Ichiro's coming out of retirement to join the Dodgers.
Yeah, he wants to.
He didn't get a championship. He wants a championship.
Yeah.
So one of the, before we get started today, I want to bring up something that a very troubling thing about maybe our society and how all of us act and react, and in a lot of different ways. It looks at it actually covers so many things socially. So let's look at this. What happened was during the Eagles-Packers game last week, where the Eagles pretty much demolished the Packers in Philadelphia, which we know Philadelphia fans are really bad. They throw snowballs at Santa. Yeah. They're terrible fans. But you should know that by going there. I mean, if you don't know that they're bad fans before you go there, you're I don't know what you're doing. You're living in a hole somewhere. You never go to Philadelphia wearing the other team's jersey. I've been to games where they throw batteries at people. You just don't do that.
Not that you shouldn't be able to.
No, you should not. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is in Philadelphia. Okay, so there was this guy, Alex Bassara, and I don't know what his fiance's name was. But Alex Bassara and his fiance, who were Packers fans, went there with Packers stuff on, and they were sitting there watching the game, and there was a Eagles fan who was really, really, really going after them. I mean, like terribly. And so people filmed it, and obviously this guy Alex filmed it too, and he got a lot of hits, from his post. But a lot of people saw it, and so it was going on. And he was vicious. He was horrible. Calling her like real. I'm not even going to say what he called her. He called her all these crazy names. And he just kept on going on and on and on. He was just a total jerk. Typical, sometimes, people are going to say typical Philly fan, but it's not evident of every Philly fan. I'm not going to say this, but this guy, and believe me, there's Jet fans and Giant fans and Yankee fans that are just as bad as this guy. So this is just, you can go to all around the United States. You're going to have fans, sport fans. You go to England, go see soccer games. There are some bad fans, okay, but they are. No one deserves this. So he was horrible to this lady, and people were getting on this guy Alex for not defending his fiance. But you think about this now, if he had tried, two Packer fans starts a fight with this loser guy whose name is Ryan Caldwell. So starts a fight with Ryan Caldwell. He would have gotten killed by like all these Eagle fans. So he did not. And I kind of agree that he shouldn't have, because yes, you have to stand up for somebody, but you're going to get yourself killed. So just film it and bring it to the police. So anyway, the way social media is right now, people investigate, right? And you have all these guys, they're super sleuths. They go and they find out. So they took his picture, did facial recognition. They found this guy. They found out where his Facebook. They found out his family. They found out where this guy worked. They posted things all over the place. They found his LinkedIn, posted this all over the place, posted his name. And guess what? The Eagles banned him from the stadium forever. Actually, and I think the NFL banned him forever. But also he got fired from his job because it didn't go with their values the way he was talking. I mean, again, if you hear what he said, listen to the video, guys. I'm not going to repeat it, but it was terrible. So horrible. I actually applauded. I said, this guy deserves it. It is horrible that social media does this and you ruin somebody's life within a day, but that happened. Okay. But then these sleuths on Facebook and Instagram and all this stuff, they actually find out that this guy, Alex, is one of these content creator guys. And he went to the game. He actually had a GoFundMe page out to try to get tickets to the game. And he went to the game looking to create content. So now the thought is, did they go there and purposely provoke this man? Now, again, I don't know. No one has actually proven that, but it really makes a lot of sense. Did he go there to provoke this man and then, reap the benefits of all the content and all the hits that he got from this? Now, I don't know that. I still think this man was terrible, and regardless of what happened, he should never have said the things he did. So, he still should get whatever discipline he got. It's probably, worthwhile, because sometimes you see the real light of a person when they get in a situation like that. And the stuff he was saying, you would, this guy's married and has kids and daughters, and he would never say that to his wife and daughters. I hope he doesn't. But now I'm thinking they're both at fault, and I just don't know. And I don't know who to believe, but this is nuts. This has become, I'm looking right now. I'm just scrolling. There's so many posts on every different type of social media talking about this. And this poor guy, Ryan Caldwell's face is all over the place. And there's even a letter that his company sent. They posted it on Instagram. They posted the letter that they were saying that they don't condone his actions and he doesn't represent their company and everything like that. This guy is trashed. If he goes on a job interview, the first time they do a search on his name, they're going to come up with this horrible human being. So I don't know what you guys think about this. And I totally went off on a tirade on this. My whole thing about this is, yes, this guy's horrible. And this content guy could be almost as bad, because if he put his girlfriend or his fiance in that position to be abused, he's an awful human being too. But it's also, look what social media has done to our society. In a matter of one day, you had a guy's life trashed. His whole family's, obviously they have no income. And then this other guy, he had, he made a lot of money off of his hits, but then also he's getting trashed to death now too. So I'm going to stop now, and I totally went off on a tangent, but what do you guys think of this?
Well, what I've read is the only outlet that's reporting that they think it was a setup is like the Daily Mail, which is like a rag.
Oh, yeah.
So now Caldwell came out and said, well, I apologize and I should have never said anything, and I have a daughter and I'm paying the price, whatever, and goes on and on and on. And then at the end says, but there's two sides of the story, and the video clip didn't, show everything. And it's like, well, okay, well, you're being interviewed, so what is it? But he ends it there. He doesn't say anything. So You know, to me, he made a mistake and he's got to pay for it. And I don't think you can hold the content creator responsible in any way unless it's proven that he did something to provoke this guy. But even so, the guy did it. I mean, there's no clicks if the guy just goes there and cheers for his Eagles, right?
Yeah,
Like,
or says,
there
"Hey,
are
you're
no
a bum.
clicks.
You're a bum. Your team
Yeah.
sucks. Your team sucks and stuff."
Yeah,
Not
there
not
are no clicks. There's just a video, you know,
Yeah.
and the creators is claiming that he this is what he does. He does video blogs, and he went to the Packers game a month ago and he did the same thing. And he knew, you know, because he had been to Philadelphia before, he knew, and he wanted to see what the experience was like and film it. So I think they knew it could get bad, right? Like, and I'm sure he probably told his fiance, "Hey, just don't say anything, and let, you know, if somebody wants to scream at you, we'll just deal with it and move on." But
If you watch the video, she was pretty tough. I mean, she sat there and like laughed it
Yeah.
off, and she didn't let
Yeah.
it bother her. Yeah.
yeah, but you know, it's stupid. The guy's stupid. You know, he's from New Jersey too,
New
right?
Brunswick, yeah,
This isn't like a South Philly guy.
No, he's in New Brunswick.
It's a New Jersey guy,
Did
and
you
and
see
Of
He
course,
was
it's
a
from,
D-
of course it's from New Jersey, right?
he,
Yeah.
he's a DEI consultant, project
Well,
manager.
he was.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, but you know, my opinion is don't be stupid in life. You know, treat people with respect.
Well, you know, one of my favorite podcasts besides ours is the Garden State podcast. So I can't wait to hear what they're going to have to say about this.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's the other thing now. Okay, this guy is this. Now, if you guys are at a game and you saw this going on, what would you do? Like if I was standing, if I was behind this going on, what would you do?
I mean, I think I would say something for what he was saying. I would be like, hey, just, you know, root on your team and stop.
Yeah,
This.
it's
It's
pretty
gone
awful
too
what
far.
he said. Yeah,
Yeah,
the things he said
and
were
for
awful.
everybody to just stand there too. You know.
Yeah, it's like you know, 'cause I read some articles about it too, and this guy is saying like, oh, there's two sides to every story, and I'm like, but then I read what he said. I'm like, why would you? You're a grown man, right? You're an adult, and that's
And
how
a
you're
father,
reacting
and
at
a father, a
football
husband and a
game?
father,
Huh?
a husband and a father too.
Yeah,
And they were winning.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's not like they were losing, and it's strange.
But he's like, well, what started out as friendly banter escalated. I'm like, it sure did escalate based on what you said. I'm like, but why would you say that to someone? And it's like all these other Eagle fans and these two Packer fans, and he's the guy they zero in on, and he reacts and responds. Just watch the game. No, you're ruining it. And now this guy is essentially, you know, like Bryan said, he's probably ruined his life because next time he goes for a job interview, someone says, oh, we're going to do our due diligence on this candidate. They look him up. Oh, this is the guy who berated a fan at an Eagles playoff game. And it's just disappointing. Like Alex also said, it's like people just have to be better to each other. It's not that hard, you know. It's just an embarrassing story. Not surprising that it comes out of Philadelphia too, though.
No, it is. It's just embarrassing. It's horrible. It's horrible, and and of course he's from New Jersey, so now just people. You know, I'm you know, I work with a lot of people from Connecticut and stuff, and they were like saying, "Oh, look at these typical New Jersey guy." Like I'm like, "Oh God," and you know, that's all we need. Just make it worse for New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he is a fan, if Ryan Caldwell, if you listen to our podcast, we have banned you from our podcast too. Please do not listen to this anymore because we don't want to. We don't condone your actions. Okay.
Go listen to Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, go listen to something else. Go listen to something else.
That's another guy who's jumped the fence, man.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
All of those guys on ESPN, though, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? He's another guy. He just goes for that. You know that I don't know what the shock value. He's the shock value. Like it's kind of like how Howard Stern used to be way back in the day. Now it's the shock jock. Now it's the shock sports jock, and he's one of those guys. And there's a lot of those guys. They're idiots, and
all of them.
I can't even listen to them half the time. I don't even. There's so many of them I don't like. Now here's on this same note.
Herb Street the other day, like a couple weeks
ago.
Yeah.
That
was kind of scary.
Yep.
Colin Coward, that guy's like,
another ass. Total ass.
Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless. What a train wreck. You know?
Yeah, these guys, but you know what? They make a lot of money. They get people to watch them. Okay, guys. So the last thing before we start. This is super important to all of us. And we always talk about people that passed away, but one of my favorite celebrity sports people combination guys passed away. Bob Uecker, rest in peace, Bob. Major League, just a bit outside, all that. I love that guy. I mean, he was amazing, and again, he was Bob Gibson's best friend. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm so sad.
Got to be
Yeah,
in the front row. Must be in the front row. Right?
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of friends about him today, and we're talking about his legacy as an announcer, and we talked about how he was a major league player, lifetime 200 hitter, only played a handful of seasons in the majors, and there are so many major leaguers like that, and they just kind of fade into the rest of their lives. And this guy became an icon, major league, and those great Miller Lite commercials, and a Brewers announcer forever. And he must be in the Hall of Fame, right, for his announcing. I mean, just a legend who took a subpar, marginal major league career that started when he was 28 and ended by the time he was 33, and became an American icon where everybody knows Bob Uecker. Everybody that follows sports knows Bob Uecker. They don't know anything about his baseball career or whether he even played in the majors, but they know who he is. And yeah, I was very sad to hear that as well. 90 years old. I hadn't heard from him in a while or seen anything about him. And I said, oh, Bob Uecker, another one.
But just like talk about the simple lesson in life of just be committed, right? Like he was committed to the craft, right? Like he was going to be committed to baseball, whether it was as a player, whether it was as an announcer, a celebrity, whatever it was, he just committed to it. And he made, like you said, Mike, a very successful career at it. And, more people know him for commercials and movies than they probably do for his playing career. But, as Bryan said, just a great guy, and he will be missed for sure.
Okay, so sad, Bob. It's sad. It's really sad. I'm sorry, to hear about this and even talk about it. He batted exactly 200. For his career, he actually was above the Mendoza line, so that's not bad. But he was actually at the Mendoza line. But it's sad, whatever. But he was, again, supposedly Bob Gibson's best friend. And there's a lot of ways you could see, that you see them together. But hey, we miss you. We really miss you. And he was 90 years old. He was going to be 91 on January 26th. So, okay, so that's that. Now, Mike, why don't you give us a rundown of last week's games and how poorly we did, or how good and bad we did?
Well, I'm recapping this from last week, and I think the big egg that we all laid was we all picked the Chargers, and the Texans made them look like a JV high school team. All nailed Eagles and Ravens.
I can't believe I picked Jim Harbaugh. I got to go back and listen to that.
I looked like a genius for about 2 minutes, for the first 2 minutes of the Bills-Broncos game, because I saw the Broncos throw this bomb and they scored a touchdown. I'm thinking, all right, Broncos +8 or whatever it was, and then I tuned out and I came back and the score was like 31-7. I'm like, what happened? So, but overall, I think Alex crushed it. 5-1, Bryan 4-2, and I am 2-4 through the first 6 games. That's like with the spread. So Alex got the only one Alex didn't get was Jim Harbaugh, beloved Jim Harbaugh, unless the recording tells us differently.
He choked it.
Yeah, he really did.
And he's getting all sorts of surgery, man. Ablation,
heart and the hip or something like that.
Yeah.
61 only.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, great job, Alex. 5-1. Well done.
Thank you.
Got a new career in gambling, I think.
No, it's never.
Next up for Alex, gambling.
No way. We got to pick him this week, though, boys.
Here we go.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. And actually, I did pretty well with player props this past week. So like that's another big thing about betting now. And I don't bet a lot of money. I bet $2-3 on stuff like that. But I hit a bunch of player props this week, and what's his name, McConkey, the guy on San Diego.
Lad
Even though
McConkey.
they lost, he had like 190 yards.
Wow.
There's a couple of these I did so well this week. So
You didn't have Saquon scoring a touchdown, did you?
no, I did not. No,
Because that ruined, I guess a lot of people had, I think the most action was on Saquon to score a touchdown, and he kind of broke free at one point and he just slid. He looked like he was going to be home free. And
But I had Dallas Goedert.
Oh,
To score a touchdown. Yeah. So like, yeah, I did. Again, I won $50. I mean, it's not I won a ton of money, but because I don't like to bet a lot of money, but I bet 2 and 3 here and there, and I did well. So to me, I was really happy with that. But let's talk about it this week, and let's maybe as we go through the games, maybe we'll see if there's any people that we would, think of be worthwhile doing a player prop on. So let's go. What's the first game, Mike?
Well, here's an interesting one before you jump into that. My son mentioned this the other day. Is the 7th seed working in the NFL? Because only one 7 seed in this new playoff format, this super wild card, has ever won. And it was the Packers beat the Cowboys, and we know how the Cowboys play in the playoffs.
Yeah. So, that one doesn't count. That's an anomaly, right?
And that's why I picked against the Packers and the Broncos. I mean, they were, I didn't think they belonged in the same field as the Bills and the Eagles, but last week. But is the new playoff format working? Not a question that we have to answer tonight, but something to keep an eye on looking forward.
Is it working?
Just too many teams?
Well, is it working? So here you go. Is it
Making
working?
money.
Is it working for money and
Yeah,
TV
of
viewership
course.
and fans getting enthused about their team making the playoffs? It probably is.
Yeah.
But is it working for the competitiveness? No.
Yeah.
Well, that's very similar to the play-in game in the NBA. I mean, like the play-in series, or whatever. It does. It gives the fans something to hope for. But are any teams going to come out of that? They're going to be too tired. Actually, when that tournament kind of tires them out. So yeah, I don't know. I don't agree. Yeah, I don't think it is.
Well, and then we're going to get an 18th game coming soon too in the NFL, right?
Yeah,
That's
I know,
imminent.
isn't it? How stupid is that?
And then a European division, a 4-team European division. Did you see that?
No, are you kidding me?
Somebody came out and said, it was a Boomer Esiason or somebody's like, yeah, don't be surprised if they're not going to create a 4-team division in Europe.
No, they are. Yeah. It's going to happen. It's all over the place. Yeah, they're Antarctic division eventually too, and they're going to have like
Whatever happened to the Euro League, right? Wasn't there a European football league for a while?
Yeah,
there was.
With Germany and
the rain, and it was. No,
there went away.
It did well. It did well, but I don't think
beers.
Yeah, right? They couldn't get good players to go over there and play.
Yeah,
right. But it did well. Like people were going to the games, and they were buying.
Who's going to want to go over there? Like, oh, okay, I guess if you get drafted, you would, but like a free agent's going to want to go to play in Europe.
But wouldn't you need 2 divisions? Because if you had a 4-team division, do they go to the AFC or NFC? Because what if you're pummeling those teams?
No, the road trips and the time zone differences.
Well, you could put the NFC South and the AFC South with them. They could all stink together.
Actually, that's relegation. Here we go.
Yes,
relegation.
Yes,
if those divisions are going to get relegated, and then you just add these European teams.
No, like you literally get relegated to Europe. Like if you finish last in your division, they move you to Europe for a year.
What are you playing? Who are you playing out there? Barnstorming across Scotland looking for teams to play.
Well, they're doing Spain this year, right? And they're doing Germany, I think, are the 2 new countries they're going to.
Well, Germany would love the tailgating aspect of football, for sure, right? Just cooking and drinking a lot before the game.
I mean, I think games will do well, like one-off, right? But I mean, they're in the middle of the EPL season, and all the major soccer leagues are playing now. So I think if you were playing football every week, I don't know that it's going to draw, but
it's a novelty where once a year it's great to tear up Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right? And then tear up Wembley or wherever they're playing. But
anyway.
Yeah, I could you. Well, see, if I was a player, there are certain countries that you would go to if you got paid in U.S. currency. You make out like a bandit. But
not Canada.
No, and definitely not England either. But Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting how the thought. But again, if they had let's say they had a division that was, so they had a Canadian division. So let's say they take the CFL and they bring it into the NFL. Okay, so they said, okay, we're going to have a CFL division, a Canadian division, right? And those
Which
would be just
field are they using,
the
though?
remaining whatever. They'll take 4 CFL teams and keep them, just like they did with the ABA. They'll bring them in. Then they'll have a European division. They'll have Germany, France, England. I don't know where else. Belgium or something. I don't know. So they'll have
Spain.
another division there. So I don't know what they have to go on like these crazy road trips where they would say, okay, so you come over to the United States, you play 4 games, and then the U.S. teams will go over and they play each of the 4. So they stay over there for like 4 weeks and play them all. That's the only way you could do that. You can't go back and forth all the time. It would be terrible for their bodies and for staying in shape. And
I mean, they do it now.
They do it once. Well, once they don't do it more than once in a season.
Well, Jacksonville goes over, right? They stay.
Yeah.
I think they play back-to-back weeks.
But so I
But
don't
then
know.
would the Super Bowl be in like Greenland?
Oh, could you imagine that?
It is ours now, right?
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
so
no. On Monday it becomes
Yeah,
ours.
that Canada in the
And Canada
Yeah.
and Mexico.
Canada will be United States. Yeah, so that it's I don't know. It's just, I think they should merge with the CFL. Like, that would be really cool. But then we'd have to change. We have to take some of their rules, like the punt. You could score on a punt.
3 downs.
You talk about a quick game.
Goalposts in the front of the end zone.
Well, I just like the fact that you can score on a punt. If the punt goes in the end zone and they don't return it, you get 1 point.
Multiple teams name the Giants and the Jets.
Yeah.
No, they fixed that though. They did. It's
Yeah.
not
They
too
have
rough.
12 teams in the Canadian Football League and only 3 nicknames.
Yeah. Oh my goodness,
And Doug Flutie has to be on one team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where all former Heisman trophies that didn't
Warren
make the
Moon.
NFL.
Warren Moon was a big CFL player.
Yeah, that's right.
And Rocket Ishmael, right? He's the highest paid player in the CFL history. Okay, so let's continue. So Mike, let's talk about the
really
first game.
digress there.
Yeah, let's talk. Who are the Bills playing, Mike?
Well, let's go in order of the game. So the first game tomorrow is Texans at Chiefs. 4 seed and 1 seed, and the Chiefs are favored by 8. And these two teams played in Week 16, and the Chiefs beat them 27-19. So who do you guys like in this one? Texans coming off a huge win. Chiefs just sitting there waiting.
I like the Chiefs. I think the Texans have a great defensive line, and I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Mahomes. And I think this is not going to be, I don't think the Chiefs are going to blow them out by any means, but I think the Chiefs are going to win. I just think playing up in the cold in Kansas City, Brian's pointed out, tough place to play. You're going to have to go through there. And so I'm going to take chalk and take the Chiefs.
Are they going to cover the spread?
I don't think they'll cover the spread.
You're taking DJ Chalk? No, it's it's an 8.5 points. Like that's low. And the over-under is 41. Well, I could see that 41 because Houston does have a good defense, but are they going to shut down Kansas City in Kansas City? And Kansas City is like they're rested, and their receiving core is, it's the best receiving core they've ever had for the Chiefs, in my opinion. They're older, but they're better. You have 2 primetime receivers, which they've never had, and they have Kelsey.
Kelsey's going to have a big game,
and they have 2 good running backs.
But there are going to be a lot of checkdowns because I think the Texans can get after the quarterback. But they have like 9 sacks last week or something. I mean,
nine
they're no jokes. So I think it'll be a lot of checkdowns and all that. But I think the Chiefs will get there. But I would take the Texans with the points, the Chiefs to win.
Brian sounds like he's calling a blowout here for the Chiefs.
Oh no, I'm not calling a blowout because but I'm saying I don't anticipate it being a contest. I feel the Chiefs might score 21 and Houston 10, 21-10 maybe, 31 points. I don't see Houston scoring a lot, but they could. They could. But again, they don't. We talked about last week. Nico Collins had a great game. I thought they were going to double team him. I don't know what their plan was. When you only have one good receiver, why was he open all the time? So it's very interesting how I never understand coaching in the NFL. Like you would think, with the Vikings, what Detroit did to the Vikings, they should have been able to see that because basically just follow the same game plan. So I don't know. I anticipate the Chiefs doing well, but I just cannot see Houston keeping up with them. So I'm saying not super high scoring. I would go with the under.
Mhm.
And if it's with the over, I'll be shocked. But I'm saying the under, but I don't see Houston really being competitive.
You think so? You think the Chiefs are going to cover that spread?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm with Alex. I don't think the Chiefs are going to cover. They always find a way to win. They win kind of ugly. I think this is going to be a low scoring game. I think it's probably going to be the under, but I think the Texans are going to keep it close enough just with their defense. I don't know that they're going to need to control the ball. I don't know that they can with Joe Mixon. He didn't have a great game against the Chiefs in Week 16. I just think this could be like a sloppy, not great to watch game, and the Chiefs just kind of grind it out like they seem to do and seem to have done all season. Their defense has been terrific the last 2 years. The Chiefs as well. They've kind of carried an offense that has not been as high powered as it's been in the past. But I think this is more like a 20-14 game, kind of like that. And the score may reflect that it's a close game, but it's never that close. And Kansas City just kind of keeps them at arm's length and advances yet again to the AFC Championship. They've become the new Patriots, the Chiefs now.
Yeah, but everybody. I mean, the Patriots were more hated. I think. I don't know.
Well, they cheated.
I don't really hate it. I don't really hate the Chiefs. That's what makes it sometimes harder because I'm like I don't want them to win, but I don't really hate them. Whereas the Patriots, I couldn't stand that team.
Well, and two, like, is this whole thing going to pick up steam with Tom Brady? Like, he owns the Raiders. He's, are you telling me he's not using information that he's getting? Come on. The guy cheated his whole life.
But it's the Raiders, so it doesn't even matter.
Right, yeah. That's true.
Okay, so we're all saying the Chiefs then?
All Chiefs winning.
But I'm saying I'm the only one who says they're going to cover the spread.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and then the nightcap tomorrow.
Wait, hold on, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk since we don't have to go back and do this.
Okay.
Who's kicker do you trust more?
Oh, not the kicker. The kicker?
Whose kicker do you trust more in that game?
In the game, kicking or
if it's a tight, if for some reason it's a tight game, yeah. If they have a fight, yeah. No, if for some reason if they have a close game, which kicker do you trust more?
Butker.
Is he back?
Yeah. I think so.
Then I take him.
Yeah, me too.
He's clutch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. There we go.
All right. The
nightcap. Now move on.
The nightcap Saturday is a good one. Commanders at the Lions.
That's a great game.
Yeah, that's a fantastic game. Jaden Daniels is a star. And that's probably the one guy the Lions do not want to see. So this one, the Lions are a 9-point favorite.
Yeah.
And the over-under is 55.5.
Yeah. Well, the Lions score points.
They score a boatload of points.
But is Jaden Daniels the best quarterback in the NFC right now?
I could be. Arguably, yes.
Who are you going to take? Matt Stafford?
No.
Jalen Hurts?
No.
Jared Goff?
Who's
had a great season, but
yeah, and has proven that trade was worth it, right?
Yeah, that's been a great trade for everyone.
Well, he's got to get the He's got to get the championship. See, if he gets a championship against Stafford got his championship. Now, if Goff gets one, then that's pretty cool. That if you think about their careers, because supposedly they're friends, right? So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. This is going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch it, but I kind of worry. The fact that I have to tell you, the fact that it's in Detroit does give Washington a little bit of a chance because they have some burners on that team. So is it going to be competitive at halftime? I hope. End of the game, I don't know.
I think the Lions blow them out. I think they have one receiver in Terry McLaurin, and I think the Lions are just going to put their best guy on him, and then they're going to play great defense, and I think it's going to be up to Jaden Daniels' legs to keep him in the game. But I think ultimately the Lions' offensive juggernaut is just going to grind them into pieces, and they're going to win by 10 or 15 points, I think.
And David Montgomery's back for the Lions. So Jahmyr Gibbs has been outstanding.
Yeah.
And they have David Montgomery back in the mix. And look, Sam Darnold was not good in that last game of the regular season against the Lions, but the Lions defense played very well in that game, which gives me a little bit of excitement for the Lions defense. Because my gosh, if that team is able to put together an effective defensive game plan and keep teams in check with that offense, they could start blowing teams out like it's a college game, like it's an Alabama game in September or something, because they're going to put up I don't think there's any way the Commanders are stopping the Lions from putting up points. It's just a matter of can the Lions.
Yeah, Lions are going to score 30 points at least. And now can the Commanders score 30 points? I don't know.
I say no way.
Yeah.
And future Jets coach Aaron Glenn coaching that defense.
Why? Isn't Rex Ryan the best guy for that job? He said so himself.
Well, based on interviews, I mean, I'm interviewing next week with the Jets. I don't know about you guys when your interviews are, but they've interviewed everybody under the sun.
I interviewed with Woody. I'd throw up. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't.
I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. I do think the Lions are going to cover. I think they win by at least 10, but I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. So whether it's 35-21, 30-20, something like that, I think the Lions offense is going to be a little bit too much for the Commanders to keep up with. But I'm really excited to see Jaden Daniels playing in this environment. The Lions crowd is going to be off the chain. It's going to be a great environment there. I'm curious to see how much the Lions try blitzing Jaden Daniels, which could open up the running game for the Commanders, with Jaden Daniels getting outside the pocket and then creating some excitement with his legs out there. But I do think the Lions are just a little bit too strong for them, and they're kind of starting to look like a team of destiny here in the NFC, which is really cool to see after some terrible Lions team.
And you know what's sad is
decades.
I hate that both of these teams are in this game, because I would have rooted for both of them against anybody else. But it's
agreed.
Yeah. So this will be a fun game to watch. I just hope it's fun, and that's fun. We'll see what happens.
So
we're all on the Lions, right?
All on the Lions, but
all
to cover.
Covering. Hey, and how funny as a side, it took. How long was Daniel Snyder the owner of the Commanders, the Redskins / Washington football team / Commanders? Like over 20 years, maybe. And what did they win? Like one playoff game, if that. And in 1 year of Josh Harris owning it, they've already won a playoff game, won a division. They're second place in the division. Just really exciting team to watch.
Well, they got a quarterback and they got a coach.
Fantastic, right?
Yeah,
fantastic.
That's all it takes.
Yeah,
get a quarterback and a coach, and you can have an NFL team, even in Canada.
Okay, next game. Oh, kickers. Right. Kickers. What kicker do you trust, Dave? Because this one, definitely the Lions kicker is way better. Bates is awesome.
Yeah. And it's indoors.
And Gonzalez dunked that one, but maybe, who knows?
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions kicker.
Agreed.
Bates.
Yeah, Lions kicker. Okay, good.
All right. And then Sunday, first game, Rams at Eagles. For me, it's the surprising Rams at the number 2 seeded Eagles. Eagles favored by 6. Over-unders 43.5. That's a tough one.
I'm taking the Eagles just because of the weather. It's supposed to be crummy and snowy and cold, and I just think the Rams are going to crap the bed in that scenario, and I think they're just going to hand it off to Saquon Barkley, and they're going to win.
The Rams could have the best defensive front line of football right now.
Yeah, but the Eagles have the best offensive line.
Yep, that's why.
Yeah,
and no, I agree with you. And do you think any people are going to come to the stadium in Rams jerseys?
No.
Videotaping?
Yeah.
Are there Rams fans?
There are. I actually
that's a good point.
I know a guy who's been a Rams fan.
I actually do have a friend who's a Rams fan, but
so
other than that, I've never met a Rams fan in my life.
The guy I went to high school with, Eric Dickerson jersey, man.
Nice.
When he was on the Rams. I never got it. I never understood it, but he liked the Rams.
So it was the Los Angeles Rams before the St. Louis Rams, who then moved back to Los Angeles.
When is that game? Sunday?
Yeah.
It's a Sunday 3:00 game.
Okay, and
So it's going to start getting really cold and dark around the halftime.
3:00 game. So it's and it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be really cold too. In the link, I just cannot see with that crowd, and it'll be tough. The
If it
Rams,
was like a dome stadium or like some sort of neutral field, I would pick the Rams
I
because
like
I
Stafford.
think their
No,
coach is better.
Stafford's a smart quarterback, and he's a winner.
Yeah.
But he's an indoor
Yeah.
quarterback. I'm sorry, he's a
Yeah.
warm weather indoor
Yeah.
quarterback. He's not going to be. He's not going to be the guy.
No.
He's played in the playoffs. He's won a championship. He's better than Field. Like if you again, season long stats, Fields is better. But if you have a game on the line and you have a guy, I would rather have Stafford. But you also have Barkley. You have two excellent receivers, a great tight end. They're a tough team, a great offensive line. I really do not, and that you have the tush push. Come on, I don't see this happening, but I do see it's going to be close again. Another game I think is going to be close at halftime, and then the Eagles are going to knock them apart.
Yeah, I think the Eagles' defense has been really good, right? Since their bye, they're tied with the Bills in turnover margin. They're plus 17, so I think they're going to turn. I think they're going to turn the Rams over in those conditions a couple times. That crowd's going to be at a fever pitch. I think the Eagles cover this one. Again, I'm not really excited about this game and how it's going to go. I think it's going to be again kind of a bit of a slog, but I think the Eagles cover this one. I think it's probably the under 43.5 seems like a lot of points for me. I would take the under on this one and the Eagles.
Yeah, the under. Eagles. Yeah, that's smart. That's a smart pick. That's a smart pick. I think I'm going to go with that too. I do see what you're going to see. So I think Saquon's going to do very well because again they do have a good front line. They're going to rush the quarterback really bad. I don't think they're going to pass. And again, Hurts did not throw the ball well last week. That's the one flaw that I saw. Do you think AJ Brown will read a book?
Yeah, he's going to read a book. It's the same book. It's always the same book.
I think he's got a career like Oprah. Like he could just have a new book each week, right? And like send it to the bestseller, like the number one book, because it was like the number one book on Amazon last week.
Isn't that incredible?
I don't know why. It's funny.
He
First he was on the Titans, and then he comes here. He's been on teams with bad quarterbacks. He's never had the experience to throw it like a guy who throws the ball a lot. But he's good. They're good. So they have two good receivers, good tight end. They have a great running back. They actually have
Great
a
offensive line.
good back.
I mean, their
They have
whole
a good
offense is
running
loaded.
back. Gainwell's a good running back too. So they could score points, and they're going to be able to score points. The Rams, you have two great receivers, and you have a good veteran quarterback, but it's freezing cold. We're talking about Cooper Kupp, the surfer, and Nakua, who's from the islands. They're not going to deal with 3 degrees weather in the link. At halftime, they're going to go in and they're going to be freezing. They're going to like, oh, my fingers are all numb. What are we going to do? And then they're going to like, oh, we have to go back out there. And
I love when Bryan gets that voice, Mike. Oh.
He used to do that at work too.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's what's going to happen. So you're going to see that. I remember that from sports when you had a like halftime, you go in or in between periods of a hockey game, you go in the locker room and you're already dead tired and cold, and then you want to go back out there and play. You're just not jazzed up. Like beginning of the game, you're probably ready to go, and then after it sinks in and it gets cold and it gets dark, and that the ground gets so cold and it just kind of goes through your body. There's no way the Rams are going to be able to handle that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of them, but they're not going to be able to do that. So weather is a big factor. Cold is a big factor. Home field is a big factor.
So I have to follow up with Alex on one point. So AJ Brown reading that book on the sideline led it to being the number one book on Amazon.
Yes.
Get the heck out.
You know what AJ Brown?
Yeah, it was like the next day.
You know what he should do this weekend? He should bring some awful, ridiculous book to the sideline.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, just to shoot that to the top. Some just awful book, right? Just some ridiculous book that nobody likes. Like maybe I'm like looking at my bookshelf, but all my books are great. So, like, just find some.
Wait, what was that book I got you for Christmas that one year, Alex?
Oh, the LeBron one?
Oh, yes, the Whore of Cleveland.
Yeah.
You should read The Whore of Cleveland.
No, was it the Bastard of Cleveland? Or what was it? Of Akron. Of Akron, right?
Of Akron, yeah.
Oh, that's right. He
I
later
actually
became
read
The
that
Whore of
book.
Cleveland.
I know you actually read it.
I read it.
Was it good?
No. It was. I can't even describe it. The guy, the author's like, he's like a journal. He's like a wacky dude.
All right, so that will not be
the Whore of Akron. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So that won't be featured when we do our best
No,
books
that
episode.
But not only was it like just a bashing of LeBron, page after page after page. It was like, there was like sexual innuendo and like all this stuff, and like he was, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I wouldn't recommend it.
From the bargain bin at Borders.
No, at the dollar store. They have those the dollar books. I actually got it at Barnes and Noble, because at that time it was actually pretty popular. But I think it went downhill right away. Anyway, okay, so what's the next game?
The last game of the weekend is the best game of the weekend. Ravens at Bills Sunday night at 6:30 Eastern. Man, this is a tough one.
I can't pick this one because my one son roots for the Bills and my other son roots for the Ravens.
Really?
Yeah. They grew up Giant fans and then got so sick of the Giants they said,
does he have a Baltimore shirt? I'm not. That's so funny that they have that group. That it's. But no.
I don't know how Jack came to the Ravens. I'm not. I mean, he was. He's living in Arlington, so. But that's just recently. That's just recently, though. He was a Ravens fan before that. You know what? He loved Justin Tucker, and as a kid, he was a soccer player, and and so he got his jersey when he was young. So I think that's how he ended up with the Ravens. And Brendan like went around. He looked at all the different teams, because he was just so sick of the Giants. And he picked the Bills when they were terrible. I'm like, what are you doing picking the Bills?
Yeah, I remember, look at that. Who was that jersey he used to have? Wait. Remember at the draft one time he came. He had a Bills wide receivers jersey.
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
He just won one of his fantasy leagues, and it's a jersey league, so everybody has to buy him. They're all chipping in to buy him a jersey, and he's getting Dawkins, the lineman, who's been there forever. So.
He's not getting a Richie Incognito.
No.
He reformed his career in Buffalo, didn't he?
Yeah. So I don't know. This game's a tough one for me to pick. I mean, I think I want the Bills to win because I think Josh Allen has less years left than Lamar Jackson. But I really like both coaches. I think Harbaugh's a little bit better than McDermott. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go chalk. I said it from the beginning. I'm going to pick the Bills.
And they are a 1-point underdog. Do you think this is a high-scoring game or low scoring? The over-under is 51.5.
Yeah, I think there are going to be points put up. I mean, the Bills' defense is not great, and the Ravens' defense has gotten a lot better as the year's gone on. But I just think the Bills can break anybody down. They have so many weapons, and they're all like kind of underrated weapons. Keon Coleman, and they're just.
Coleman, I like Coleman, but he drops a lot of passes though.
Yeah, and Cook is just a great running back, and
terrific,
so.
So here's my question: who do you think is going to win the MVP?
Oof.
Well, because here's my deal:
I think Josh Allen's going to win.
Okay, whoever wins the MVP should be the winner of this game, but that's not obviously it's been chosen already, right?
Right.
But if Lamar Jackson wins the MVP and they lose, he'd be like the first 3-time MVP that didn't win a Super Bowl, right? I think that's
Aaron Rodgers.
I heard some kind of stat.
Yeah, and I think it should be Josh Allen, but I think Lamar's going to win because he was voted the All-Pro, right? I think he was the All-Pro quarterback, and it's the same guys that vote for All-Pro that vote for MVP. So, but I figured Josh Allen would get it just because it's been Lamar the last couple of years. So, I don't know.
I think this is the year Josh Allen deserves it more because he had to do it with less.
Yeah, agreed.
But let's see. So Okay, let's go back again. Now, who are you rooting for? Who do you want to win, Alex? You want Buffalo?
Well, I'm gonna. I don't care who wins because both my sons root. But I'm gonna pick. If I had a gambling man, I'd pick the Bills.
Come on, you always have one favorite child.
It's in Buffalo. It's in Buffalo. I think the crowd there is great, and weather, and you don't have to travel, and it's a very close line anyway. I mean, I have it 1.5. Bills minus 1.5, but so that's really like a 4.5 point swing because the Bills are at home. But I think Josh will pull it out, and I just you got to stop Derrick Henry.
So if either one of these two is the winner of this game going to be able to beat Kansas City?
Yes.
Ooh.
You really think so?
Ooh. A preview.
Okay. In Kansas City, though, Alex. Kansas City.
I mean, I think the Bills beat them already this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Regular season.
I know. I'm just saying. Well, the question was, could they? Not will they? It was, could they?
Great against.
I think the Bills or the Ravens could beat the Chiefs. Yeah.
Okay. And which of their kickers do you care? Bass.
Bass is terrible.
But he did so well last week.
I would take Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker's one of the best in the history of right. Okay, so yeah, I'm taking the Bills. It's gonna be obviously it's gonna be a close game. Obviously, it's gonna be a fun game. There's gonna be 5,000 commercials though too because it's gonna be they're gonna want the draw, and they're gonna want the viewership. But it's gonna be a great game. I hope it's a great game. Again, it's gonna be cold, but they both can handle the cold. Not a lot of passing. I don't think. We'll see.
I'm really torn on this game because Buffalo's at home, and I do like Josh Allen a lot. And I actually, heading into the season, I did not expect the Bills to be this good. And I was curious with like the weapons being that they had lost and the number of times that they'd come close and not been able to get to the Super Bowl. I actually thought that this was going to be kind of a make or break season for Sean McDermott even. And they answered the bell with flying colors. I loved this pickup that the Ravens made with Derrick Henry, and he was fantastic last weekend. And I really want to see Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl because he's been so great in the regular season. He hasn't been able to break through. So I know Alex is leaning towards Josh Allen I'd like to see him get a Super Bowl because he has less time. I'm feeling equally a pull with Lamar Jackson because he's won an MVP a couple of times. Last year seemed to be the time for them to unseat the Chiefs being at home, and they couldn't get the job done. Man, this is such a tough one to pick. I'm gonna pick the Ravens to win this one because I really want to see Lamar Jackson win, and I think they're just gonna do it by hitching their wagon to Derrick Henry, and he's gonna drag that team down the field like a refrigerator in those commercials with State Farm. So I'm gonna pick the Ravens, and that 51.5 points seems like a lot, but no, I think it's going to go over. I think like Alex said, there's going to be some points scored. So I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm going to go against you guys. And I'm going to take the over at this one.
That's the only game we disagree on.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm definitely the Bills. But see, I won't be mad. I like Derrick Henry a lot too. I've always liked Derrick Henry. I won't be mad if the Ravens win. I'm not going to be, It's funny when you don't have a stake in the games. You just kind of watch and you like the certain players. I like Josh Allen. I like a lot. I like Lamar Jackson. I like Henry a lot. So I don't, at this point, I'm going to go with
it's
the
unfortunate
Bills.
it's in this round that they're playing,
It's amazing that there's three teams that good in the AFC where
the quarterbacks are so good.
So good, yeah. And this one, you know what? My only hope of this game, because like Bryan said, if I pick the Ravens, but if they lose, that's okay because I do like Josh Allen as well. For me, I just hope this is a great game where all of the stars play to their level, and it's one of those last team with the ball wins. Yeah. That would be
it's who can beat. See, the way I look at it this way is who can beat the Chiefs, and as long as like Alex said, he thinks both of these teams could beat the Chiefs. Okay, so that to me is good. I want them to, so whoever wins, stay healthy, right? Win, but stay healthy. Don't, we don't want like somebody to win and all of a sudden in the last drive, Lamar Jackson gets hurt or Allen gets hurt, right? Then they have to go in with their backup quarterback into Kansas City. So whoever can do that and be able to get healthy into Kansas City and have a chance of beating them. That's what I want to see. Because again, yes, the Lions, can the Lions beat the Chiefs in a neutral stadium? Maybe, but I don't know.
I think they can. The Lions?
They can, but I have to tell you, in an indoor stadium, Mahomes is going to air it out.
Yeah, but I just think, Brian, like the Lions. I mean, the Lions are going to put up 30 against anybody.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs haven't been putting up big points this year.
Yeah, but they haven't had everybody healthy, Alex.
Yeah.
Alex, this is the first time they have Hollywood Brown, they have Hopkins, they have Hunt and Pacheco, all healthy.
Yeah.
There's only been 2 games all year that's happened.
Yeah.
So I have
let's see what they do against the Texans.
Mahomes never has weapons. This is like Mahomes with weapons. It's almost like if he doesn't win with all these weapons, then he's not as good as we think he is. Like it's like amazing because he used to win with Vontez Scalding and all those weird guys that these guys with double names who really stink, and they put them on their team, they stink. But also for some reason he was making them money.
And then they went to the Jets and they
they went to the Jets. And the Jets cut them because they don't like to practice.
And then he went back to the
they didn't like
Chiefs and won the Super Bowl.
It's like a curse.
It is. It's a heavy burden Bryan carries around, but he's got an interview for the head coaching job next week, so he can turn it all around.
I will not interview with the Jets.
Come on, Bryan.
No, I do not want to. I do not. I could never. I couldn't do it. Maybe general manager, but not coach.
Bryan with the whistle around his neck, the polo shirt, the really short shorts that coaches used to wear.
I think
those bike shorts.
I have a very very good record in fantasy football over the years. So I probably could be a good general manager.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You heard of Woody?
I just couldn't deal. I couldn't work for Woody. What a jerk.
You think most owners are like that? Not jerks, but like involved. Like, okay, what are we doing?
Well, of course, it's their business. These people, they make money in their whatever business they're in. So,
but you never hear like the Hunts being involved or the Rooneys being involved, or I don't know, just very strange. I mean, it seems like the Giants, the Jets,
it's
Cowboys,
the New York area, social media, the press. It's way more here than any other place too. It really is. I mean, Jerry Jones too. I think Jerry Jones is probably the worst. Like, except for he doesn't mind spending, but he is probably involved in every single decision you make.
Well, he is. He's the GM
too. Yeah.
He is the GM.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him just recently, like, "Are you ever going to give up?" He's like, "No, I bought the team. I'm going to do what I want."
Oh no.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yep.
Now, do you guys watch that show, The Landman? Do you guys watch that show, The Landman?
No, but I saw he was on it. I
he
thought he
was
did a
on
good
it.
job.
Jerry Jones was on it one day. Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah.
I was at first I was like, did they have somebody play Jerry Jones? Then I was like, no, he played himself. He did a wonderful job. That's a great
wonderful job playing himself. Well, of course.
Yeah, but some people can't do that, right? They can't do it.
They can't play themselves.
Here's a little tip from 3 The Hard Way Sports. Watch The Landman. It's a great show.
Jerry Jones is 82 years old.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not winning another Super Bowl.
Time to step down.
He's not winning another Super Bowl.
He never should have fired Jimmy Johnson.
I know.
He'd be covered in Super Bowl rings.
He wanted all the credit, man.
The credit. You got the money.
That's what these power guys want, right? They don't care.
So okay. So one last thing before we move on. If for some reason, so the 2 best players obviously in the Ravens, arguably the Ravens Bills are Jackson and Allen. If one of them goes down, who are the backups? Okay, so if Jackson goes down, you have Josh Johnson, next Jet.
Wasn't he on Dawson's Creek?
And if the Bills, if Allen goes down, you have Trubisky or Mike fucking White. They have both of those.
I saw Trubisky play in that last game of the season, and he didn't look great.
No, he didn't look good. And White, I think they'd be better off with White. But so yeah, that's one team that neither of them spent any money having a decent backup. Which,
well, hey man, the Chiefs got Carson Wentz, who was an MVP, wasn't he, with the Eagles?
Yeah. Yep.
And boy, I watched some of that game against the Broncos, and I don't know if they threw that game or what, because they lost 38-0, but he didn't look good either, personally. No. So,
well, yeah, and you know, one thing I like the guy on Buffalo, the barefooted guy. What's his name? Hollins.
Yeah,
he's pretty wild. He's funny.
He's a wacky dude.
He's a wacky dude, but he's good. He's actually he had 5 touchdowns this year. Yeah, pretty decent player.
Wouldn't he barefooted? What is he, a kicker?
No. He doesn't wear shoes.
He like walks around like grounding all the time.
And even if there's snow outside, Mike, he walks around barefooted.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta go look him up. Look him up.
Big hobbit feet.
Yeah, it's hilarious. He walks. He like walks outside barefooted, and and he comes to the game barefooted. He drives in his car barefooted,
and he dresses up.
Is he Fred Flintstone?
Stuff.
Yeah, that's what Fred Flintstone.
Does he drive his car with his feet too?
But he has to wear shoes to play. That's why he gets all mad, because he wants to play barefooted, but they won't let him.
He should wear those awful shoes that look like. Remember those?
Like the Manfred shoes. Remember Manfred used to wear those to work.
Looks like you have hands on your feet.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys. Okay, wonderful episode. Let's see what happens. See how we do this week. Everybody, enjoy the NFL. This is the best time of year for football. And
do you think this is the best weekend of the year for sports?
Yeah,
I don't agree. I don't think it is.
Well, you have also Monday. So also you have Monday night. You have the college playoff thing, whatever.
Cares?
Yeah, I could care less about either team. I'm not even going to watch this. I'm not going to waste my time watching that stupid thing.
I'm with you.
You know, I don't like Ohio State. I don't like Notre Dame. Who am I going to root for? I can't root for either of those teams, so I'm not going to watch.
Ohio State's coach with that beard, that jet black beard.
Yeah, not happening. So I hope it's a tie. I hope it's a tie, and then and no one could score, and they have to stop the game, and then they
give all the money back.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for Notre Dame.
Okay,
my uncle went to Notre Dame, so I'm rooting for Notre Dame.
Okay,
all right, there you go.
So okay,
all right.
Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful
Enjoy the football,
and everybody have a wonderful Martin Luther King weekend and Inauguration Day. Thank you.
Downtown on the Detroit strip, niggas holla Detroit that.